everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you've never been here before, my name is Toden, and if you have, thank you for coming back. Today I have a new video for you. This is actually going to be a filler video because the other videos that I had planned to be posted, obviously I cannot post now because it is not time appropriate, but I do have most of them pre-recorded and pre-edited, so that's going to be going up once this whole thing is done. But in the meantime, here's a new video for you. I'm going to be talking about the different things that I personally learned in this pandemic as a millennial. I wouldn't say necessarily that this is my first pandemic, but I feel like this is the first one that I've been able to go through. Well, I mean, we're still going through it, but go through as an adult. So I have some of my opinions and some things that I've learned in the past couple of months, even though in my city, they're just starting to really enforce social distancing and isolation and self-quarantining, right? Quarantine. And I think people have been listening here and are trying to listen more. The streets are so dead. The only thing you can hear is like people and their dogs walking. See, I see someone literally walking their dog right now, and yeah, that's pretty much all you can see outside. Everyone's staying home. A lot of businesses have been closed, been shut down in the meantime because of the no gathering rule, even if you're just gathering with like 2 or 3 people. But the thing is that if someone has it, then they can pass it on to other people, obviously. So definitely trying to listen to the government and not do the things they're telling us not to do right now, because it's in our own best interest. If we want to have a summer this year, which honestly the way it's looking, it's not really looking bright, but we can definitely find ways to minimize the spread, which leads me into my first point. The first thing that I've learned from this whole thing, and I'm continuing to learn, is that less is more. Less going out is more in your bank account, because honestly, the fact that we haven't been able to go out, the fact that we haven't been able to do anything has been good in a sense, because then the tendency to like spend money because everywhere is literally closed is reduced. And less is more also in terms of information that is being consumed, whether that be social media or whether that is the news. Like, less is really more, because I honestly feel more at peace now than ever, which is really weird because it's like the whole world just shut down. And I'm like, why is that? But it's because, you know, you're not running a rat race with anyone. Even sometimes it's not like you're intentionally running a rat race, but it's like subconsciously there's that thing where you feel like everyone's doing this, or kind of subconsciously you want to be doing that. I feel like a sense of competition has just been like put to a complete halt, and I feel like that's been good, because I feel like I'm not it's not like on a daily basis I'm necessarily competing with anyone anyways, but I feel like it's just been reduced. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying, but the sense of competition, the sense of like go has just been completely put to a stop. I don't know how to explain it, but there was a pressure before this whole thing started, and now I just feel like the pressure just died, and I'm like, ooh, okay, I can restart, I can regroup and get myself together and continue. Less is more also in terms of consuming information from news, because there is just so much misinformation going on. There is so much fake news. So just listening to credible sources and just being like, you know what, if they say we need to sit our butts at home, we need to sit our butts at home. I miss my girls, but we have to stay apart for the greater good. So we can FaceTime each other, we can text each other, like it's really not a big deal. It's not going to be here forever. The second thing I feel like I've realized about this whole thing is that giving is important, and not only is giving important, but it also encourages other people to give. People out here who are just like leaving toilet roll and toilet paper out for other people because the stores are running out of them, because some people are actually going out there. I cannot believe this. People are going out there and they're hoarding toilet paper. It saddens me because of the fact that when you think about other people, in terms of people who are living paycheck to paycheck, not everybody can afford to go and hoard stuff. And if they are living paycheck to paycheck, that means they have to wait till like next Friday or next payday for them to actually go in and get toilet paper. And the fact that some people are abusing the fact that they can go to the stores and get toilet paper to like get the whole thing. And not only are they doing that, they're also selling on Kijiji for ridiculous prices. Thankfully Kijiji has done this thing where you can't be doing that, which I think is a great idea, because in these times, who really wants to benefit off of other people not having money? Like, that is such a selfish thing to do, and I feel like as human beings we need to do better. Like, honestly, not hoarding stuff, leaving stuff out for other people to be able to pick up. Social media is great in terms of teaching other people, like, don't do this but do this instead, and I found that so amazing that people are leaving stuff out for the homeless people are leaving stuff out for people who can't afford to get things like mouthwash and all that stuff. So that has been great. Honestly, I went to the grocery store today and I could not find Lysol, and I'm like, so this is what we've really gotten to. The fact that people are hoarding stuff to sell it for expensive prices. The Bible says it's blessed to give than to receive. So it's time we start giving as opposed to hoarding, because this whole thing, fingers crossed, is going to be done in the next 3 to 4 months. And then what's going to happen? You're going to go try to resell the toilet paper back to the store. Make it make sense, please. The third thing that I realized from this whole thing is that I personally need a break. I really do need a break. I feel like I am slowly but surely suffering from burnout, and I need a break, which has been great because, you know, hours are getting cut at work, hours are getting reduced at work because nobody's showing up to come to my work and to come like buy services and do things, because everyone is practicing social distancing and everyone's staying at home. And if people don't have to go to get groceries, gas, and all those immediate necessities, nobody's really coming to my work, so hours are getting cut back. And I already knew that I kind of needed a break from like life, period. But I feel like this whole thing has been great in terms of me being able to again reset my mind. Yeah, sometimes you don't realize how stressed out you are until you're in a position where you don't feel as stressed out anymore. I feel like that was one of those things where I knew I was stressed, but I just could not bring myself to taking a break. And this has been a great break for me. I'm not overworking myself. I'm not getting people who are coming to work and yelling at me 8 hours of the day, literally. It's been nice, and honestly, in some kind of way, like, I feel like it's made me and my coworkers just a little bit more closer, because we have more time to, we're not like chilling, but usually I feel like at my job it's like everything's so back to back to back to back to back. 8 hours goes like this, and then you start all over again, and sometimes you don't even get to say hi to people till like you're leaving. So for me, it's been nice to have that break, have that reset, get to think, get to sleep, take naps here and there, even though, you know, the way my bank account is about to start looking flat soon. I feel like it's gonna get to a point where the only option I have is to open an OnlyFans. I hope you guys support me. So yeah, I've really learned that I need to take a break, and this has been a good break for me. I feel like all of these literally all tied together. The fourth point I had was like jobs and my thought on jobs. Also, like, you know, this whole experience has gotten me to really think about my thought on jobs and pays and paychecks and all that stuff. Like, for me, I've been working for about, I started working at 18, so I started working late, but I started working at 18, and I've been working ever since then. I worked my way through university on a full-time course load. Yes, I was dying, and I'm still working after university. So I've been working at my job for about 7 years total now, because I'm turning 25 this year, so that's almost, jeez, that is crazy, almost 7 years. So I'm starting to feel like maybe it's time for a change. Maybe it's time to completely literally move outside of the province and look for like different job opportunities, just because I feel like staying in one place is great, but when you're also younger, it's good to have like different experiences, because even though it is hard to go out there and put yourself out there and try to get another job or just try to do something different, I feel like when you're in the same place for a long time, it's so hard to grow, because you just kind of get used to being in the same place all the time. And I think for me, I personally like being mentally challenged, like at a place of work, because it just makes me more mature. Like, the type of my job requires me to be mature, requires me to be firm, to be able to, you know, speak for myself and advocate for myself. So that's great and that's good, but at the same time, I would like to start opening myself up to like different opportunities and like think about jobs that would encourage me to be more financially independent. And honestly, this whole thing has also made me think about like going back to school and having a job that is like economy proof. I don't know if that's a thing, but like having a job that's economy proof, because you know, when things like this happen, a lot of people like have gotten laid off in the past. We're gonna have 2 weeks because of this whole thing that's been going on. And for me, it's like, it happens. It's just a part of life. It happens. But at the same time, I would like to be kind of bulletproof in that kind of financial place. I talk about this all the time. I feel like I'm financially traumatized, to be honest with you guys. I don't want to be in that place financially where it's like I can't pay my bills. You know, the government thankfully is going to be helping people out when it comes to shortage of hours and all that stuff, but at the same time, it's still a really scary place to be, because I imagine myself 10 years from now, when I hopefully by God's grace will have a family and have kids. It's like, yeah, I really want to have a job that I'm not going to be scrambling to make ends meet. And I feel like this has been a really good, not a good thing, it's definitely not a good thing, but it's been good in terms of like challenging me to think about my future more seriously, because right now I have the luxury to just kind of like chill, but I'm really not chilling, to be honest with you. But at the same time, while quote unquote chilling, I get to think about my future and like how I want my future to be better, so that I'm not stressed out, so I'm not stressing my husband and my future kids out. Another thing I feel like I've learned in this whole thing about job security is understanding that entrepreneurship is a huge undertaking, and to really know what you're doing before you get into that. Because when things happen like this and you're just like, say, starting a new business or just quit your job, it's like, how do you even function when you go 2 feet in to something where you're just, you know, you're taking risks? Obviously business includes taking risks, but I feel like this has really gotten me to think about taking calculated risks and not just like risking it without having a plan B, C, D, and E, especially when it comes to entrepreneurship or just like quitting a job. Because when things like this happen out of the blue, how do you even begin to process that? People are not buying anything because everyone's panicking. The only thing people are buying is Lysol and toilet paper. Everybody's trying to keep their money for as long as they can. And if you are selling a product, like, how do you either market a product for people to buy it, or should you even be marketing a product for people to buy in this kind of situation? Like, it's one of those touchy subjects and touchy subject areas that I feel like you really have to think about what you're doing before you completely dive into entrepreneurship. Even though in our society today entrepreneurship is really praised, but I think people need to really understand the disadvantages. Well, not necessarily disadvantages, but when things go wrong, do you have a plan C, D, and E? And also under that is people who have been literally trying to take advantage of other people and being like, you know, I told you having a job is not where it's at. If you just work from home, come join my Boss Babe team. And I'm like, bro, don't bring it here. This is not the place. This is not the time. This is not it. Like, not it, not me, not today. You know, I literally had to block someone off my phone because I'm like, do not message me about your job opportunity, which is complete BS. Like, don't message me about that. I'm not gonna listen to that. I think that people who are actually out here in these streets working full-time jobs, or like, you know, trying to make ends meet and trying to work for their families, you're telling them that they're doing the wrong thing because of the economy, because of a virus that they cannot control. Like, why are you gonna be blaming people for doing their jobs because they didn't come and join your job? And they're like using this as an opportunity to be like, this is why I love my job, because I can work from home. And I'm like, ma'am, stop it. Do not message me ever again. Like, I am not here for it. I'm here for people doing their hustle and chasing their hustle. But when your hustle starts to demean other people and other people's jobs and the way that people are making their money legitimately, you've lost me. Like, don't message me. There's no space and time for it right now. You can encourage people without demeaning them, without demeaning their job. And it's like, having savings is so important, because when things like this happen, you always want to have a backup plan and you're not like kind of stuck, or struggling, which is why personally I don't like debt. Like, I really don't. I try my best to stay out of debt, stay away from debt. I don't enjoy it. It just doesn't work with me personally anyways. Like, it feels like a huge burden. But other than that, it's like when you're in a position like this where people are losing their jobs, hours are getting cut, and if you've overcommitted yourself into like financial situations that you thought everything was going to be okay, and then this is happening, for me, this is the reason I don't want to take on debt. Even though I would think financially I would be in a place to take on a little bit of debt. Technically, I could get a, new thing. I don't want this to come off the wrong way, but honestly, like, it's such a scary place to be in, and I personally know that I don't cope well when it comes to financial stress. I have really bad experiences with financial stress since I can remember. So I try my best not to put myself into positions like that. Financial freedom is so important. Like, I've been talking about this since forever. The older I grow, the more I really realize that financial freedom is really important to me personally. Like, that is something that's like one of my top 5 things on my list. Having a savings account is a great idea. We're young. This is a time I feel like for us to start trying to save money if we can before we start having spouses and babies and all that stuff. So I am trying to hoard as much money as I can. Sometimes it sounds like a scarcity mindset, but bro, if you've ever been homeless, almost been homeless, you know this is not a scarcity mindset. This is a reality of a lot of people. The 5th thing that I feel like I've been learning about throughout this whole pandemic is learning how to cook more and cook different things. If you guys don't know, I really hate cooking. I said it there. I don't enjoy cooking at all. The only reason I cook is because I like to know what's going in my body, and I love to eat healthy. But other than that, I really don't enjoy cooking at all. So I got cookbooks. Well, I got 2 books that, I don't know why I'm excited about this. I got 2 books that actually have like cooking sections in them, and I've been trying out new things, or like just adding some new things into the old things that I already know. So mixing the old and the new together and trying to just spice things up. Honestly, this is the time. I literally saw this thing on Twitter that said that there's gonna be a half of people who come out of this and they're great cooks, and the other half that are gonna come out of this and they're gonna be alcoholics. Please, I feel like I'm gonna be in like the perfect in between where I know how to cook some things and then I have more wine around. But I mean, what else can we do? We're gonna watch Netflix and drink wine. Another thing that I've been doing is trying to work out at home. Let me be honest, this is something else I do not like. I don't like home workouts. Maybe I will change in the next few weeks, depending on how long this lasts for. Maybe I'm gonna come out of this and be like, oh my god, I'm never stepping my foot in a gym again. I honestly don't see this happening, but who knows. So I just realized that I just don't really enjoy them. I would rather just get my butt up, go to a gym, hit the weights, come back home. Or maybe if I had like a home gym, maybe I would have a different perspective on it if I had a home gym, but I don't. So it's been kind of hard to like work out effectively, and the past couple of days here were cold, so it was kind of hard to go out and actually do outside workouts. So I've been stuck inside doing some inside workouts. They've been okay, honestly. I can't say like they're amazing. Like, they've just been like better than not doing anything. And it's not because I don't know how to work out at home. I just would rather go outside and work out. Like, I just need the vitamin D on me, or I need to feel like I'm leaving to go do something. There's something about leaving to go accomplish a certain goal that actually excites me. The last thing that I've been doing that I kind of previously mentioned is reading. I was making a joke on my Instagram saying that screen time has increased because we now have more time on our hands, but my screen time actually decreased because I've actually been reading. I also was reading this book called How to Deal with Difficult People. It is by Gil Hassan, and it says manage problem people and move on, stay calm, change what you can. So I've been reading this book, and it's been great because it has certain points here, like for example things like this where you can tick off and try to see what kind of person you are and kind of do some self-analysis on yourself, but also learn how to deal with different kinds of difficult people. I've low-key hinted here and there that, you know, my job, I have to deal with really difficult people on a constant and daily basis. Like, I feel like on my work, people don't think we're human beings, and they just think they can come in and like literally harass us verbally. So I'm trying to find ways to, the word deal kind of bothers me. It's like you're dealing with people, but how to better assess a situation and how to be better at problem solving skills when it comes to difficult people, because sometimes it's like people who are difficult just kind of throw us off guard, and you're not really sure exactly how to deal with the situation other than being like, let me go grab you, my manager, sir. So I'm trying to be more efficient when it comes to assessing situations, problem solving, talking to people, communicating with people, even difficult people, and trying to find ways to be able to deal with difficult people without being rude. And, you know, I'm not necessarily a rude person, or like that's not my MO. That's not how I am anyways, but I just feel like you can never know too much, and this is definitely a topic that interests me. So I picked this book up at chapters right before this whole pandemic happened, and they actually shut the place down, like literally 2 days after I got this book. I also got another book that was supposed to arrive actually at the chapter store, but because they closed down the stores, they were like, you can't get your book. That kind of sucks, because I was really looking forward to reading the other book, but I'm not done this book yet. I'm on chapter 3 of this book and really enjoying it so far. Hopefully I can finish reading it within the next 2 weeks. It does take me longer to read books because, like I said, I'm still at work. I'm still working. I have to read it like during my break or when I'm at home after work. That is pretty much it for this video and all the things I think that I'm learning and have learned through this whole process, and I'm continuing to learn because this isn't over yet. Hopefully it's gonna end in the next 2-3 months and everything can be back to normal. But yeah, that is pretty much it. If you guys like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll definitely see you in my next video. Bye.